Welcome to Pastor's Chat today. Well, today we're looking at a new chapter, Luke chapter 18. And the chapter begins with these words, Then he, speaking of Jesus, then Jesus spoke a parable to them that men ought always to pray and not to faint or to lose heart. Now, as we get into this chapter, I couldn't help but think back almost 50 years ago when I went to Winchester, Virginia to be a part of starting a new church, Shenandoah Valley Baptist Church. We were in college and the church began, and right after I graduated in 75, I became the senior pastor of the church. And shortly after that, I met a dear friend that greatly influenced our lives and greatly encouraged us. His name was Dave Sisler. Dave Sisler went to be with the Lord this week. I just found out last night, and we're very sorry to hear that. He was someone who invested in us in many different ways. And one of the ways he tried to help us, I'll never forget, was take me and my brother-in-law, Ronnie Riggins, up to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, because we were getting ready to plant a church up there, start a new church. Ronnie was going to go up there and meet some people and start a church. And we were excited about that. And so Dave took us up to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and he introduced us to a man that he knew by the name of Charlie Tremendous Jones. Dave was involved in Amway in a really big way, and Charlie Tremendous Jones was one of the top motivational speakers in the world at that time and spoke at the Amway conventions. And so Dave personally knew him. And I'll never forget our first meeting with Charlie Tremendous Jones there in Harrisburg, Virginia, in his bookstore with Ronnie Riggins and Dave. And that's a longer story. But Charlie Tremendous Jones over the years also became a part of the church there with Ronnie that was started and became a friend of ours. And one of the things that Charlie was famous for saying is two things will change your life in the next 5 years. That is the people you meet and the books you read. The people you meet and the books you read. Now, I said all that to give honor first to my friend Dave Sisler, and he's going to be greatly missed by many people, especially his family. But also just to make a point is the Bible is a book of people. You meet people. And if you want to learn the Bible, learn the people of the Bible. God introduces us to people in the Bible. And so through these people, the main person we meet is God himself. And when you meet people, you meet them in their books, you meet them in their lives, you meet them in their stories, and your life can be forever changed because through the people of the Bible, you meet God. Now, in this story in front of us today, in Luke chapter 18, Jesus is teaching a lesson about prayer, that men ought always to pray, not to faint, not to give up hope. So either the parable is teaching us, and he's going to tell a parable, is teaching us that either we're going to be praying or we're going to be fainting, we're going to be quitting. We're going to throw up our hands and throw in the towel and walk away from our Christianity. And so the importance and the power and place of prayer that Jesus speaks about here is wonderful. So Jesus told this parable saying, there was in a certain city a judge who did not fear God nor regard man. Now there was a widow in that city, and she came to him saying, Get justice for me from my adversary. And he would not for a while, but afterwards he said within himself, Though I do not fear God nor regard man, yet because this widow troubles me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me. Then the Lord said, Hear what the unjust judge said. And shall not God avenge his own elect who cry out day and night to him, though he bears long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on the earth? Now, we'll be talking about that and three people in this story that we're going to meet: the widow lady, the unjust judge, and the widow has an adversary. And of course, through them, we're going to hear about how great our God is to take care of us when we cry out to him day and night. Well, God bless you, and you think about who you're going to meet today and how you can influence their lives and maybe how they might influence your life. God bless you, and you have a wonderful, wonderful day.